Incredible day, incredible scenes. And the 33-year-old from Elk Grove, California, Kyle Larson, comes to the line and is a two-time champion.
Kyle Larson just turned Denny Hamlin's perfect day into another heartbreak. For 319 laps, Hamlin controlled the race, leading 208 of them and sitting just 40 seconds from his first Cup title. Then, a late caution flipped everything. Larson took a risk, Hamlin played it safe, and history repeated itself in the most brutal way. Let's rewind. The 2025 Championship 4 showdown at Phoenix was set to be one for the ages. Hamlin, Larson, Byron, and Briscoe all came in with everything to gain. But for Hamlin, the stakes were different. At 44, he wasn't just racing for a trophy. He was racing to rewrite history, to shed the label of greatest driver to never win a title. And through 300 laps, he was doing just that. Hamlin was dominant from the drop, starting from the pole and running like a man possessed. His Toyota was untouchable in clean air, building a nearly 3-second lead with just a few laps to go. Victory and redemption were seconds away. But racing, like life, doesn't care about your plans.
Easy. Okay.
Oh boy, William Byron. William Byron has a tire issue and the caution is out. He was the only one of the Championship 4 who didn't have a tire issue, Kim, and now it's struck.
That's when William Byron's tire exploded, sending him into the wall and bringing out a late caution that sent the championship finale into overtime. In a split-second decision, teams headed down pit road for the final call of the season. Hamlin's team chose 4 tires. Larson's team? Just 2. That single call would change everything. On the restart, Larson had track position. Hamlin had grip, but not the time. In a 2-lap shootout, Larson powered through to 3rd, highest among the Championship 4. Hamlin only made it back to 6th. Ryan Blaney won the race, but Larson walked away with the title. It was cruel. It was dramatic. It was NASCAR.
Denny Hamlin on the right was so close.
Post-race, Hamlin sat motionless in his car, a towel draped over his head, daughters crying nearby. He had led 2/3 of the race. He had done everything right. And yet, the championship slipped through his hands again. "We were 40 seconds away from a championship," he said, stunned. "Just praying for no caution." And we had one there. This isn't new for Hamlin. It's the 6th time he's lost a title shot in devastating fashion. 2010, 2014, 2019, 2020, 2021, and now 2025. This one, though, cut deeper. It was his first real shot in years. He was loose all weekend. He'd rented houses for friends and family. He was ready. What made it even more painful was the caliber of Hamlin's performance. He wasn't just keeping pace, he was dictating it. Every restart, every pit cycle, he was in control. The number. 11 car was fast on both short and long runs, showing speed in every lane. Analysts were already talking about how this would be the most dominant championship performance since Jimmy Johnson's peak. And then, one tire changed everything. Kyle Larson, meanwhile, was deep in a 24-race slump, winless since May, coming off a disappointing attempt at the Indy 500 and Coke 600 double. Nobody pegged him as a favorite. But when the moment came, he pounced. "We didn't lead a lap and won the championship," Larson said in disbelief. "We had an average car at best. It's just unbelievable. What a year by this motorsports team." And it really was. Larson hadn't dominated, he hadn't dazzled, but he was there when it counted and made the aggressive call that won him the war. That's racing. Byron, who triggered the caution, was devastated. "I hate that," Byron said. "I obviously didn't want to cause a caution. If I'd known the tire was going down, I would have done something different." Hamlin's teammate Chase Briscoe finished 18th. Byron, Larson's teammate, limped home in 33rd. The only one from Hendrick who cashed in was Larson, and it was all thanks to a strategy call that left Hamlin's title hopes in the dust. What many fans might overlook is the mental strength it takes to make a call like the one Larson's crew made. Taking 2 tires is a high-risk, high-reward decision. If the car loses grip, it's game over. But crew chief Cliff Daniels believed in the moment. and it paid off. It's another reminder that championships are won not just with horsepower, but with nerve. The finish reignited debate around NASCAR's playoff format. How can a guy lead 208 laps and lose to someone who didn't lead a single one? Fans were divided. Was it fair, or was Hamlin robbed? Even Ryan Blaney, who won the race but wasn't in title contention, admitted, "You do have to feel for that group, and Denny, they had the fastest race car here. Just one of those things where it doesn't work out." Larson's victory wasn't dirty, but it was ruthless. He played the format perfectly. 2 tires got him track position, clean air helped him survive, and with that, he became a 2-time champ. Meanwhile, Joe Gibbs Racing was in shambles. Crew members were seen crying. Some slumped on the pavement. Gibbs himself stood in silence, hand on hip, not saying a word. It was another devastating chapter in a story they've lived too many times. Hamlin held it together, barely. He hugged his crew. He faced the cameras, but his words carried the weight of every close call he's ever suffered. "I'll try," he said. "But man, if you can't win that one, I don't know which one you can win."
I'll try. I got a couple more shots at it, but, man, if you can't win that one, I don't know which one you can win.
And that's what makes this finale so brutal. There was no crash, no dirty block, no blatant sabotage, just a split-second decision and a system that rewards guts over dominance. Larson wasn't the best that day, but he was the smartest when it mattered. If you're Denny Hamlin, what more can you do? You dominate, you lead, you prepare, and still, it's not enough. It wasn't bad driving, it wasn't poor strategy. It was just timing. Terrible, heartbreaking timing. To make matters worse, this race exposed a recurring flaw in the championship format. NASCAR's playoff system, introduced to heightened drama, does just that, but often at the cost of fairness. Fans have long debated whether a one-race finale truly determines the best driver of the season. In Hamlin's case, the system felt more like a trap than a test. On social media, reactions poured in. Supporters were devastated, labeling the finale a robbery. Even some Larson fans admitted it felt wrong, despite acknowledging his brilliance in seizing the moment. "This isn't how a championship should end," one tweet read, summing up the mood. "This wasn't just a race, it was a case study in heartbreak, in the razor-thin margins that define greatness and grief in motorsports. This race will go down in history, not just for the chaos, but for what it says about the sport. NASCAR loves drama. It thrives on unpredictability. But when that unpredictability crushes a career-defining moment for a veteran like Hamlin, it leaves a scar." Fans were split. Some celebrated Larson's nerve, others mourned for Hamlin, but everyone agreed this was one of the most gut-wrenching finales in years. So what happens now? For Larson, it's vindication. After months of struggle, he's a 2-time champion. His legacy is growing, his team delivered under pressure, and in the biggest moment, he didn't blink. For Hamlin, it's another long offseason filled with questions. Can he come back again? Does he have another run in him? Or was this his last best shot? Phoenix gave us answers, and even more questions. But one thing's certain, Denny Hamlin's championship curse is very real. And Kyle Larson, he just added another page to Hamlin's heartbreak story, whether he meant to or not. NASCAR can be brutal. On Sunday night, it was heartless. The NASCAR world didn't see this one coming. Richard Childress Racing just made a bold move involving Kyle Busch, one that's turned heads across the garage and sparked fresh debate about what's next for both the driver and the team. In a move that sent waves through the sport, Richard Childress Racing, RCR, has confirmed it will continue its partnership with 2-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch through the 2026 season. After months of speculation about Busch's next step, this extension signals more than just loyalty. It's a statement about RCR's direction and Busch's determination to stay in the fight for another title. Richard Childress himself, a figure synonymous with NASCAR excellence, stood proudly beside Busch during the announcement, exuding confidence in what the future holds. "We're proud to continue our relationship with Kyle Busch and remain focused on our shared goals of winning races and championships together," Childress said. "Kyle is a tremendous racer and ambassador of the sport for our fans and partners." This partnership began in 2023 when Busch, after a 15-year run with Joe Gibbs Racing, made the bold decision to join RCR, the reunion with Chevrolet, and the new challenge of driving the number. 8-car marked a significant shift in his career trajectory. And while his initial campaign with RCR brought 3 Cup Series wins and numerous top 5 and top 10 finishes, a championship remained elusive until now. For Busch, the extension is about more than just job security. It's a testament to the mutual trust that's developed between him and Childress. It's an honor to race for Richard Childress, our partners, and Team Chevy fans. Busch said, "I feel like my family and I have found a home at RCR. My chapter here is not yet complete." RCR has long been a force in NASCAR. From its humble beginnings in 1969 to becoming the first team to win championships in the Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series, the organization's legacy is interwoven with the history of the sport itself. And now, with Childress continuing to invest in cutting-edge engineering, high-caliber personnel, and elite drivers, the team is retooling for another run at dominance. Busch's time at RCR has not been without its challenges. After a promising start in 2023 with 3 victories in the first 16 races, a 69-race winless streak cast doubt on whether the partnership was delivering as intended. But insiders at RCR insist that changes behind the scenes, new leadership, revamped engineering, and better resource allocation are setting the stage for a resurgence. Team president Mike Verlander, formerly of Kyle Busch Motorsports and Stewart-Haas Racing, is one of the key figures behind this transformation. Alongside Vice Chairman Tori Galita, new technical director John Klausmeyer, and crew chief Richard Boswell, working with Austin Dillon, the leadership team is forging a new identity, and Busch is at the center of that evolution. "This has extended our contract out another year, and we're really excited," Childress emphasized. "Kyle has been great to work with. I love a driver that doesn't like to lose." Busch, known for his fiery temperament and unrelenting drive to win, acknowledged the adjustments. "When I first joined, I feel like there were some things that we were doing within the rules at that time that got us some extra speed, and then there was definitely some things that came down that they didn't like us doing." Still, his faith in the team remains unshaken. It's just a matter of being able to continue to work with the people that are there. "It's a great culture. I enjoy working there. I fit in well there. They enjoy having me here." At 40 years old, Busch isn't the youngest driver in the garage, but his experience and versatility make him an invaluable asset to RCR. Over 2 decades of Cup Series racing, he's amassed 63 wins, and his instincts remain razor sharp. More than that, he's grown into a mentor and teammate. His collaboration with Austin Dillon, grandson of Richard Childress, has helped elevate the number. 3 teams' performance as well. "Austin's been a fantastic teammate," Busch said. "We talk a lot about the same things and describe them similarly. He's been a good resource." Dillon echoed the sentiment. "I feel like Kyle Busch gives you what you expect, which is that he's a hard worker. He's fiery. He wants the best for the cars. He wants to get to victory lane constantly and will push everyone to figure out how to make that happen, even himself on the track." It's no surprise, then, that this extension wasn't just a formality, it was strategic. With NASCAR's current landscape filled with uncertain contracts and team reshuffles, locking in a driver of Busch's caliber is a powerful statement. RCR isn't playing for participation, they're aiming for titles. While William Byron secured a 4-year extension with Hendrick Motorsports in May 2025, locking him in through 2029, the rest of the 2025 to 2026 driver market remains relatively quiet. Daniel Suarez is set to leave Trackhouse Racing after this season and is confirmed to join Spire Motorsports for 2026, while AJ Allmendinger has a short-term deal with Cowlick Racing, and his long-term future remains undetermined. From the perspective of NASCAR fans, this move also reignites interest in one of the sport's most enigmatic talents. Busch remains a lightning rod, loved by some, reviled by others, but there's no denying his impact on and off the track. His continued presence in the number. 8-car keeps RCR firmly in the spotlight. Moreover, Busch's goal isn't just to extend his career. He wants to cement a legacy at RCR. "We have certainly had our battles. It's been fun yet challenging. This sport is very tough, and we know those areas in which we can improve behind the wheel," Busch stated. That belief is echoed across the organization. Richard Childress, a man who once traded punches with Busch in their now infamous 2011 altercation, now sees him as a vital pillar of the team's future. Their relationship, once marred by conflict, has evolved into mutual respect and shared ambition. One of the lingering questions is whether Busch can finally capture another title in an RCR car. It's been nearly a decade since his last championship, and the competition has only gotten tighter. But as the sport continues to evolve, with new talent like Tyler Reddick, Connor Zilisch, and Shane Van Gisbergen rising through the ranks, Busch's wisdom and racecraft remain unmatched. And let's not forget, Busch is still chasing his first Daytona 500 win, one of the few accomplishments missing from his illustrious resume. The hunger is there. The infrastructure at RCR is improving. And now, with contract stability through 2026, all the pieces are being set into place. Beyond wins and trophies, the extension also means continued synergy with Chevrolet and its broader motorsports network. This alliance strengthens RCR's technical capabilities and marketing reach. Chevrolet's belief in Busch remains steadfast, and having a driver of his pedigree continues to pay dividends both on the track and in brand loyalty. Ultimately, this move underscores RCR's commitment to competitiveness. By securing a proven winner, investing in infrastructure, and nurturing a culture of resilience and ambition, the organization is positioning itself not just for the 2026 season, but for a legacy that extends well beyond. Kyle Busch isn't just back. He's locked in, focused, and ready to shake up the NASCAR grid once more. And with Richard Childress at the helm, RCR may be on the cusp of a renaissance that echoes its golden years, with Dale Earnhardt. The stage is set, the contracts are signed, and now the race toward championship glory begins anew. As the engines roar to life in 2025 and beyond, the entire NASCAR world will be watching the number. 8-car, because the story of Busch and Childress is far from over. In fact, it may be just getting started.
A lot of these are back. Ever since he's a little kid, built up to that.
Into the move underneath. 3 coming out of turn 2. That is crazy. 3, this is down to the last turn.
Hailie Deegan was supposed to be NASCAR's next big star, but then she left, and what she said about the sport shocked everyone. Why would someone with her talent walk away at the peak of her career? The real reason might change how you see racing forever. Hailie Deegan loved to move fast and compete. When she was just 8, she started racing go-karts while other kids played with toys. That choice put her on a path not many girls had taken. Her dad, Brian Deegan, was a famous motocross rider and off-road racer, so racing was part of her everyday life. She quickly got into dirt bikes and trucks, and she didn't just race, she won. Growing up in Temecula, California, Hailie had motorsport in her blood. Her father, Brian Deegan, made a name in freestyle motocross, off-road trucks, and rallycross. Racing wasn't some weekend hobby, it was everyday life. She began riding dirt bikes and karts at 8, plunging into off-road racing and short-course trucks. She didn't just participate, she dominated. In 2013, she became the first female driver to win a championship in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series when she won the Junior 2 karts class. By 2016, she earned the Driver of the Year honor, standing out even among veteran off-road competitors. And yet, the asphalt world beckoned. The roar of stock car engines, the high-stakes oval tracks, even though it meant leaving the comfort of dirt and trucks. In 2016, she made the shift, determined to build a career where few young women had succeeded. When Hailie moved into the badge-bearing world of stock cars, everything changed. The cars were different, the lights were brighter, the expectations were heavier. In 2018, she entered the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West with the team Bill McAnally Racing, carrying not only her own ambitions but the legacy of her family's name. And then she made history. On the 29th of September 2018, she won the Napa Auto Parts Idaho 208 at Meridian Speedway, becoming the first female driver ever to win in the K&N Pro Series. It wasn't an easy win. She passed on the final lap, taking advantage of a late spin ahead. She led only 1 lap, but the moment marked a turning point. She didn't just win, she carved a place in history. Yet the win also heightened expectations and scrutiny. As the female driver in a male-dominated sport, her every move was watched. Some cheered, some doubted. For Hailie, the win was proof but also a challenge. Now everyone would ask, can she do it again? After her success in the regional series, Hailie's focus turned to the national stage. In 2021, she entered the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with David Gilliland Racing, driving the #1 Ford. But the Truck Series is no gentle stepping stone. Close quarters, heavy contact, strategy, and survival all mix in ways that punish mistakes. For Hailey, the aggressive driving style that once helped on dirt had to adapt. She had to learn patience, positioning, how to deal with being roughed up, and how to fight back without losing control. The spotlight was brighter and the pressure immense. She faced not just other competitors,